competition again this year. We'll get to a lot more of that, in the weeks or months ahead when we get the show going full. So let's just turn the focus into the draft tomorrow. Before I get to the Lions, I'm going to make a couple predictions here, and you guys can time date this and stamp this and come back and hit me hard if I end up being wrong on this. Let's start with the quarterbacks, right? The most important position on the field. Most every mock draft has Caleb Williams going number 1. All right. I do not think, although the Bears are loaded, I do not think Caleb Williams is going to end up being the best quarterback in this draft. Not in a year, not this year, not in a year, 2 years, 5 years. I just don't think. There's something about him mentally, maturity-wise, leadership-wise. There's a problem there that really worked at the college level, okay, and doesn't totally translate, I don't think, to the NFL. But he was allowed to get away with it. But if you really watched closely with that Lincoln Riley offense, with all the talent that he had around him, when things went a little bit south and adversity hit, he fell with it. And his performance of these 6 touchdowns and 4 touchdowns and all this type of stuff, 380, 420 yards, a lot of it was a porous defense. Matthew Stafford yards against prevent defenses, coming from behind, things like that. I think there's a lot of pad there. You get to the NFL, it's a whole different ballgame. So I do not think he's going to be the best quarterback of the draft. Drake Maye, I also have serious questions about. And if he goes to New England, that's a problem. They just don't have weapons to put him around. I think he's development away. The 2 best quarterbacks in this draft, and I think they're basically, like a 1A and a 1B. I think Jayden Daniels is going to be absolutely terrific. I think he's the full package. I think he's a warrior. I think he's a fighter. I think he's disciplined. He has a great arm. He has tremendous touch with the ball. He's a great long thrower of the ball. Obviously, he had loaded talent there at LSU, Brian Kelly's system, but I think he translates well. I'm going to, some of the people have heard me give Michigan a lot of heat in the back in the past. J.J. McCarthy is shaping up to maybe be the best quarterback of this draft. I think he was underutilized at Michigan, to be honest with you, and I think there was a lot that we didn't get a chance to see him do because there was only so much needed based on system, based on the defense they had, and situationally. A tremendous arm, nimble, mobile, able to get out of trouble. Looks like he reads the field well, can get through his first progression, second progression, third progression, uses the tight end well, very important at the NFL level. Has pretty good touch on the long ball, although Michigan wasn't really structured like an Ohio State with Harrison or Malik Neighbors and his cohort over there in LSU where they're deep. We didn't get a chance to see McCarthy do that. Now, a big part of McCarthy is where's he going to go, all right? This mock that I'm looking at here has him going 5 to the Giants. There's not a lot there. Slayton and Shepard is still there, and they got a couple of guys that they drafted recently that might help. You got Darren Waller over there. Barkley's gone out of the backfield, but I'm not sure that that's a great situation. We'll see if that happens. If he ends up in Minnesota and they keep Jefferson, now that is a good place for him. That I think. Plus, he's away from New York. I think he has a great chance to succeed. So I think that Jayden Daniels and J.J. McCarthy are the 2 quarterbacks in this draft. Okay, I think Drake Maye is going to struggle, and I think Caleb Williams. I've already stated. Marvin Harrison, I think, is a win if he goes to Arizona. I'm not a big fan of the quarterback there. I think they're going to have some issues with him. That's another one that's not a leader, and that may or may not work there, but he's an all-world talent, so he's worthy of the high spot. So the number 1 wide receiver that I think is coming out of the draft, is going back to LSU, is Malik Neighbors, who most have going to San Diego. If he ends up with Justin Herbert in San Diego, look out, it's a wrap. I think Justin Herbert is a top 10 all-time quarterback right now. Barring injury, I think we'll see that play through. He can do everything. He's a leader. He's tough. He can throw the deep ball, precision accuracy, great out of the backfield, super touch, strong arm. I mean, he's got every intangible you could possibly want. They lost Keenan Allen. You add Neighbors in there. I mean, look out if he goes to San Diego, even with Harbaugh as the coach, who can tend to dumb it down a little bit and like play to the tight end and such, and not really a deep throw. We'll see.